Student. Today our discussion based on process scheduling. Process scheduler selects one of the available process for execution, and for that the CPU required three kinds of queue: job queue, ready queue, and device queue. Job queue, all the process in the system. Ready queue, all the ready processes are in the ready queue, and device queue, processes in the which require device. Now the queuing diagram. In the queuing diagram, we can see that the ready queue, from the ready queue, the processes goes into CPU for execution. CPU checks whether it is a input output requested process, or is it a time slice expire process, or is it a new process or not, or is it a interrupted process or not. Input output request means suppose the process required a printer. So then the CPU check it for IO request and send it into the IO queue, and the IO operations again it send into ready queue. In the time slice category, suppose the process expires its time quantum. Each process is granted by a time slicing ratio. Time slice time means a quantum of time. It may 1000 millisecond, 1000 nanosecond, it may be. So after expiring its time slice, it again send into ready queue. And at the time, if any process, एक process क्या किया कि एक fork करके child create कर दिया, तो वो child process executes होगा, so वो again ready queue में चला जाएगा. अगर इस process के बीच में कोई interrupt occur हुआ, interrupt, any kind of interrupt, you know that in our event handling video, all we have discussed about interrupt. So any kind of interrupt, so process again goes into ready queue. So this is the process scheduling queuing diagram. And again I am recall that a ready queue and a job queue and a device queue is required for performing the process scheduling by the CPU. Now, if student find any questions regarding this queuing diagram, he or she may write in my chat box, or he or she can call me regarding details explanations or details query. So please be very careful about this queue. Now, process may be up to type. One is CPU bound and another is IO bound. CPU bound means the process never required any input output operations, or may require but not frequently. Suppose we are writing a code using 1 lakh iterations of a for loop, and the for loop is doing only sum of a number or sum of an integer. And after summing up, it may require any input output for printing purpose. So majority part of the program contain only iterations. So this is CPU bound. But in case of IO bound means frequently it requires input output devices. Suppose program के फर्स्ट लाइन में हमने प्रिंट स्टेटमेंट लिख दिया कि प्रिंटर को कल कर दिया, तो फर्स्ट टाइम it will call the input output devices. So these types of processes are input output bound. So I think it is very much clear what is CPU bound and IO bound. A process may be either of CPU bound or IO bound, input output bound. So whenever the process scheduler schedule the process, it must check whether it is under the CPU bound category or IO bound category, because considering these two kind of category, CPU schedule the processes as per its requirement, as per its IO requirements, device or resources requirement. But in case of CPU1, the process is very simple because it may contain only CPU requested. Considering this, the scheduler divided the different process into three categories: short-term scheduler, long-term scheduler, and the medium-term scheduler. So first look at the diagram. There is a job queue. From the job queue, the process goes into ready queue. So from job queue to ready queue, the scheduler is known as long-term scheduler. And from ready queue to CPU, it is a short-term scheduler. It is the task of short-term scheduler. And medium-term scheduler is that process which has partially executed. That means the process must be swapped out or swapped in from the CPU. Now I am explaining with an example. Suppose your job queue. Job queue means your hard disk is 1 terabyte, and the ready queue means your RAM. So your RAM size is 8 GB. Normally क्या होता है कि RAM size छोटा होता है. RAM size 8 GB. But your hard disk is 1 TB, मतलब 1 terabyte. So जब क्यू में जितना प्रोसेस है वो एक साथ तो रैम में आ नहीं सकता. जब क्यू में जितना प्रोसेस है वो रैम में नहीं आ सकता क्योंकि वो 1 टेराबाइट है और वो रैम में कितना है 8 GB है. सो मानो कि 1 TB जो है वो हमने 100, we assume that it is 100. So proportionately we can assume that RAM is 10. So from 100 job, for 100 process at the any time, RAM may contain only 10 processes. So from job queue to ready queue, long-term scheduler send only 10 processes. Now these 10 processes in the RAM have two kinds of bound. It may have CPU bound, it may have IO bound. Already we have discussed that what is CPU bound and what is IO bound. So ready queue not know that it is not possible to know that for ready queue which are CPU bound and which are under IO bound. Now we have to check whether it is a CPU bound, whether it is a. तो अभी तो हमने प्रोसेस चलाया ही नहीं, तो ये देखने के लिए तो प्रोसेस चलाना पड़ेगा कि ये CPU बाउंड है कि ये IO बाउंड है. तो शॉर्ट टर्म शेड्यूलर सेंड इट फ्रॉम द रेडी क्यू टू CPU. जब भी मैंने चलाया तो हमने पता चला कि हाँ इसमें ये CPU बाउंड है और ये IO बाउंड है. अगर CPU बाउंड है तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. इफ इट इज अंडर द CPU बाउंड कैटेगरी then there is no problem. But if the process is under the IO bound category, then MTS मतलब medium term scheduler come into existence. It then swapped out the process from the CPU and again it sent to ready queue whenever the time quantum or the time is available for that processes. So medium term scheduler, the workings of medium term scheduler is always to swap out the process from the CPU. तो जब भी एक प्रोसेस स्वैप्ड आउट हो गया है तो लॉन्ग टर्म शेड्यूलर का काम क्या है कि जब क्यू से वो फिर रेडी क्यू में भेज देगा, क्योंकि रेडी क्यू मतलब रैम में अभी एक प्रोसेस तो स्वैप्ड आउट हो गया है, मतलब वो बाहर चला गया है. तो जब क्यू फिर उसमें एक प्रोसेस थ्रू लॉन्ग टर्म शेड्यूलर रैम में भेज देगा. तो इसी तरह हम कंक्लूड कर सकते हैं कि व्हाट इज द फंक्शन ऑफ शॉर्ट टर्म शेड्यूलर. शॉर्ट टर्म शेड्यूलर ऑलवेज ready the processes from ready queue to CPU, and long term scheduler always sends the processes from job queue to ready queue, and the medium term scheduler, the task of medium term scheduler is to swap out that processes which are mainly under the IO bound category. The ready queue may contain 60% CPU bound and 40% IO bound. It may 40% CPU bound and 60% IO bound. So whenever in medium term scheduler, see that this is under the IO bound, and it may contain 2 or 3 IO bound instructions, IO related instructions. It then swapped out from the CPU, and again it sent to the ready queue. So these are the different kind of scheduler: short term scheduler, long term scheduler, and medium term scheduler. In our syllabus, we have only numericals under the short term scheduler. In our next video, we will discuss there are so many scheduling algorithm with numerical examples, and these numericals will come in our MACOUT exams and in universities exams. So that are the short term scheduler. The name of the algorithm is FCFS, STF, first come first serve, shortest job first, priority algorithm, round robin algorithm, and that algorithm is under the category preemptive and non-preemptive. All are under the short-term scheduler, because we are only concentrated on the short-term scheduler that come from the ready queue to CPU. And the long-term scheduler and the medium-term scheduler only you have to understand. Now the question is, which process controls the degree of multiprogramming? मल्टीप्रोग्रामिंग में कौन सा प्रोसेस का डिग्री अच्छा है? वीडियो थोड़ा पॉज करके कुछ सोच लेना और आंसर बताना. एक्चुअली ये है आंसर. क्या होगा? आंसर होगा डिग्री ऑफ मल्टीप्रोग्रामिंग किसका होगा? शायद वो डायग्राम पढ़ के और जो लेक्चर मैंने बोला है वो सुन के तुम ये बता सकते हो. आई एम वेटिंग जस्ट फ्यू सेकेंड. आंसर होगा लॉन्ग टर्म शेड्यूलर. Okay, thank you for this video.